Hello, good afternoon. The president of Ukraine has told Sky News he's not interested in meeting Vladimir Putin for peace talks. In an exclusive interview, Volodymyr Zelenskyy told us he considers the Russian president as a nobody and warned that he does not know exactly when tanks from Europe will arrive. But this morning, Germany has signalled that they should be on the ground in March. We'll have more on that in just a moment. But first, our exclusive interview.
Mr. President, there's talk of a Russian surge coming soon. When do you think that might be, and how prepared are you?
Ми бачимо 6 днів вже посилення як на півдні нашої держави, Запорізький регіон, так само і на сході нашої держави. Ми це бачимо. Наприклад, на сході вони втрачають велику кількість людей. Ну, просто неосяжно. Їм все одно. Ну, тобто вони не рахують людей. Факт. Ми рахуємо їх людей. І то у нас немає прям точних цифр, скільки їх загинуло більше. Але тих, кого ми реально бачимо і рахуємо, ми вже бачимо, і там тисячі людей. І вони їх просто кидають і кидають, кидають і кидають. Ось що ми бачимо. Тому наступ у них спроможний з будь-якого напрямку, це правда. Просто в деяких напрямках вони будуть використовувати більше людей. Як результат, буде більше трупів.
War rips families apart. A lot of young Russian boys are being sent to their deaths as cannon fodder. What's your message to their parents?
Як можна відпустити дитину, розуміючи, що вона загине, забираючи чуже? Тобто ви, відпускаючи свою дитину, ви вже робите з неї злодія. І це злодійство. І це вбивство, це не захист, не самозахист, це вбивство, спеціально направлене вбивство. І за це все прийдеться відповідати. І якщо будуть в полоні, одна відповідальність, або буде відповідальність перед Богом в будь-якому випадку, але вони залишаються молодими на цій землі через амбіції президента Путіна, однієї людини.
Abrams tanks are coming from the United States, and finally, Leopard 2 tanks are coming from Europe. You must be relieved.
Ще ні. Щойно? Шольц? Тільки що? Ну, у мене з Шольцем буде розмова. Ось зараз прес-секретар сказав, що щойно Шольц, канцлер Шольц, підтвердив, що дасть леопарди. У мене зустріч одразу з ним, розмова по телефону одразу після нашого інтерв'ю. Я дуже радий, хочу подякувати Німеччині. Я дякую Британії і дякую Сполученим Штатам Америки за те, що вони...
The tanks could be here from Europe soon, but the tanks from America may take until August. Is that too late?
Too late. But I don't know really. I don't know real situation for now, for this minute, when they will be, when America will give us Abrams, and I don't know really when from Europe will come tanks.
Can I take you back to almost a year ago and the start of the war? Could you tell us what you remember about the night that the Russians were coming? How close were they to you? Some suggestions they were just 2 kilometers away.
Послухайте, для мене це, така просто частина війни. Скільки таких людей було і скільки замахів, не вірте, коли кажуть хтось, це були десятки разів, тощо, я не знаю. Я не знаю, може якісь спецслужби знають краще.
May I ask you about peace talks, Mr. President? Under what circumstances would you consider peace negotiations?
Ніяких розмов, і це було до початку вторгнення. Президент Путін вирішив це. Я впевнений в цьому, що Україна – це перший крок на його шляху. Я впевнений, що він займається саме великою війною. Росія відійде на свою територію, вони визнають свої великі помилки, і це будуть інші люди при владі Російської Федерації. Ми сусіди, і тоді нам прийдеться розбиратися з цією ситуацією. Тоді, напевно, це буде можливо.
If you can't sleep at night and are alone with your thoughts, do you ever wonder what might happen if you were in a room alone with President Putin? Would that help at all to resolve this war?
It's not interesting for me. Not interesting to meet. Not interesting to speak. Why? Because we had meeting with him in Normandy format. It was before the full-scale invasion. I saw the man who said one thing and then did another.
Is it too late now?
Too late? Not interesting. Who is he now? After full-scale invasion, for me, he's nobody. Nobody.
Somebody who is a somebody to you is Boris Johnson. Would you like to see him have an official public role as a UK envoy to Ukraine?
Embassy? He will be ambassador from Britain in Ukraine? With pleasure. With pleasure. He's a good guy. And I'm not sure that he's ready for such status because, no, but who knows? I mean that with pleasure, really.
How would you feel if he ran again to be Prime Minister? Would he get your support?
I think that it's not correct to me to support Johnson to be a prime minister when Rishi is prime minister. It's not correct. I'm sorry. We have good relations with Sunak. I think we had more long relations with Johnson because it was more long time and of course, very difficult time at the first days of full-scale invasion. That's why I saw Johnson in different situations. I saw him not in war and then in full-scale war. That's why we have special relations.
Well, with the increased firepower soon to be in Kiev's hands, President Zelenskyy suggested that he's convinced Ukraine is just one part of Vladimir Putin's big war. And today, the NATO Secretary-General, Jens Stoltenberg, told Sky News that President Zelenskyy must be prepared for greater Russian aggression.
Russia is planning for new offensives. They are building heavily up. They are mobilized hundreds of thousands of new troops, ramping up production, acquiring ammunition from authoritarian regimes like Iran, North Korea, and therefore we have to be prepared for new Russian offensives.
Moscow has responded to President Zelenskyy's comments in that interview. Let's get more on that now with Diana Magnay. What are they saying?
Well, we asked him on the daily Kremlin call, we asked the Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, what he made of those comments from Volodymyr Zelenskyy that Putin was a nobody and he had no interest in talking to him. And he replied by saying he wasn't sure it was worthy of an answer, but that Volodymyr Zelenskyy had not been a possible opponent of Vladimir Putin's for quite some time now. Now, what does that actually mean? I think when you look at it, it's probably fits into the Kremlin's narrative that they don't seem to think that Zelenskyy would be the man they should talk to because they consider him to be a puppet of the West. So if Vladimir Putin does talk to anyone at any point about